What if this could change the world?
A burrito.
Yeah.
You are so weird.
It's no secret that this pandemic has been really rough on a lot of businesses.
I told myself I'd stay strong.
However, a lot of chains have held on tight and seem to have all the necessary resources to keep going strong. Here are 10 restaurant chains that you'll see everywhere in 2021. KFC.
This finger looking good.
Fried chicken is probably one of the best comfort foods out there, and people are ready to do just about anything to get their hands on a red and white striped bucket of original recipe. In mid-November, KFC announced their plan to completely remodel their restaurants in order to better fit the new norms of human contact. Across the country, KFC is expected to feature new cubbies, specifically designed to buy online and pick up in-store. Stores would offer twice as many drive-through lanes, enhanced parking for the benefit of delivery drivers, and curbside pickup, all in compliance with social distancing measures.
You're too close, man. You're too close, man.
Not only is KFC adapting and evolving, but it's also opening new stores, offering new meal deals, giving makeovers to the iconic Colonel Sanders, and maybe the best of all, releasing a new gaming system which also keeps your chicken warm. KFC is the perfect example of a chain doing everything it can to stay relevant and successful.
You know, one of those Kentucky Fried Chicken, Taco Bell.
Pizza Hut.
Yeah.
That's genius.
Chipotle.
Welcome to Chipotle. Thank you for your bravery.
While most restaurants have seen decreased sales since the pandemic began, for Chipotle, it was the complete opposite. Their sales have practically exploded and show no signs of slowing down. One of the reasons why Chipotle is still afloat and now even more successful is, well, because they were already one of the big guys, but also because of the substantial investment the company made in its digital business before everything happened.
Care about your burritos more than my children, Nick?
You're putting me in a tough spot.
This digital business includes online ordering, delivery, and mobile pickup lanes, cleverly called Chipotlanes. After opening its first digital-only restaurant, Chipotle plans to expand into urban markets where indoor dining would be made impossible due to space limitations. The installment of pickup shelves over the past few years, enabling customers and delivery drivers to pick up their digital orders contact-free, has also played a big role in the chain's booming business. According to their CEO, this digital move has been so effective that it was projected to exceed $2.5 billion in sales by the end of 2020.
We gots to get it.
Domino's.
Pizza truck! Oh no! Hey!
This one should probably not be such a surprise, as it is one of the big fast food players, and pizza has always been the #1 delivery go-to. But how did Domino's in particular seem to conquer the pandemic era to be a winner? Innovation, baby! Domino's is the king of innovation, always has been and always will be. Not only have the sales been going up, but they even plan on expanding to 25,000 locations by 2025. They've managed to increase their year-over-year sales and become the #1 pizza chain in America based on revenue. While a lot of restaurants were forced to close down many locations, Domino's had to close one. Yes, one store.
Eat a pizza once in a while.
This is further proof of just how far in advance they already were compared to other restaurants. The secret to their success stems from their ability to stay one step ahead of the competition at all times. Sure, it's also because the pizza is really good, but that's a given. For 60 years now, Domino's has been ahead of the innovation curve. They were the first ones to come up with the idea of a ghost kitchen in the pizza fast food world. They have a killer online ordering service that would put most fast food outlets to shame, and a lot of resources for their digital development.
Get that pizza.
McDonald's and Burger King.
This is my last chance to eat all the crap I love.
First of all, McDonald's has seen its delivery sales triple since the beginning of the pandemic. And even though it had to close over 200 locations this year, it didn't make that big of a difference in the grand scheme of things. Especially since there are over 34,000 locations, you know. With innovations like fewer seats, conveyor belts, and automated ordering, the chances are pretty slim for McDonald's not to survive the pandemic. And pretty much anything else, really.
Sausage McMuffin with hash browns. You got a deal.
As for Burger King, it has also seen some closures as a result of the pandemic, but again, nothing too major. The home of the Whopper has plans to launch new features in 2021 to fit the new restrictions. For example, by designing new venues that are 60% smaller than their current locations in order to better follow social distancing norms. Also, just like McD's, it will introduce brand new drive-thrus with conveyor belts to deliver food right to your car with no human contact whatsoever. Sure, every fast food chain has had to make sacrifices and come up with new ways to stay open, but McDonald's and Burger King have both proven that they were part of the fast food elite for a reason. They are always ready for anything.
There are two things I want to do. I want an American cheeseburger.
Red Lobster.
Ow, son of a... Feel that, Marge? He likes you!
With a year full of social distancing, stay-at-home restrictions, and the inability to meet up with friends and family, it might be hard to imagine how a dine-in restaurant like Red Lobster can keep its head above water and stay afloat. While, yes, early predictions for Red Lobster were far from positive, Red Lobster was still able to turn it around. The seafood giant has seen its sales tripled since the beginning of the pandemic. How exactly?
Tell me how!
Well, thanks to delivery orders, of course. Like a lot of restaurants have done just to stay in business, Red Lobster opened its first ghost kitchen to reach customers who are unable to go out and get to the restaurant. The ghost kitchen, which is just a kitchen with no dine-in option, opened in downtown Chicago in mid-November 2020 and has greatly contributed to putting Red Lobster right back on the map with its competitors. But that's not all they did. While many other chains are trying to cut down their menus, Red Lobster went a different way. They've introduced a couple of new menu items like a Wagyu bacon cheeseburger and bacon-wrapped sea scallops. They also hosted a Say Goodbye to 2020 sweepstakes in which you could win a few different prizes, like free Red Lobster for a whole year.
Water's boiling. Quick, chuck 'em in. Come on, chuck 'em in.
Ghost kitchens.
This local access message is brought to you by Uber Eats.
Like we've seen time and again throughout this list, contact-free service in 2021 is definitely the way to go. Not only to respect social distancing measures, but also so that people feel safer in general. Ghost kitchens have become more and more present in the restaurant industry, and even if they're not around forever, they're here to stay for a little while at least. Practically every restaurant has opted to go with a ghost kitchen concept, and those who haven't yet are surely thinking about it. There's a particular type of restaurant that has been quite successful in the ghost kitchen biz, and that's the chicken wing industry. While pizza is still the dominant delivery service, chicken wings are not too far behind.
Put a bunch of that blue cheese in there, too.
A lot of chains have launched virtual kitchens devoted exclusively or near exclusively to serving up tasty wings, and they've all been a huge success. Places like Applebee's, which launched neighborhood wings in the spring, Chuck E. Cheese, which came out with Pascali's Pizza and Wings this summer, Smoky Bones with The Wing Experience, and Fazoli's, which opened Wingville in the fall. Trying to succeed one way or the other, wings and ghost kitchens seem to go hand in hand, and will definitely be something you'll see a lot of in 2021.
Let me have a Diet Pepsi and some hot wings.
Hoots Wings.
Come on, man, hook me up.
Hoots Wings is a fairly new restaurant that specializes in, you guessed it, delicious chicken wings. It is actually a fast casual restaurant offshoot of a very popular chain, Hooters. After opening its first location in Chicago in 2017, 6 more quickly followed suit, and it now has 7 locations across Illinois, Georgia, and Florida. Even though Hooters had to lay off hundreds of workers within the first month of the pandemic, that wasn't really the case with Hoots Wings.
Wait, what?
They are determined to become a dominant player in the wing industry and serve the best wings on the planet. But how did they manage to survive for so long despite being the new kid on the block? Well, through franchising. In fact, Hoots Wings hopes to expand to an additional 17 locations by 2021, 35 in 2022, and 50 in 2023. A very hopeful prediction that could very well come true. Another reason why Hoots Wings was able to stay in the game claim is the food they serve: chicken wings. People love wings, and since the beginning of the pandemic, they have proven to be an incredibly popular delivery option, only second to pizza. Hoots Wings also boasts that its entire menu can be made using only 2 pieces of kitchen equipment, which is perfect for a low-staff climate.
Oh my God, get this child some food quick!
Chicken wings.
Dickey's Barbecue Pit.
One of the funny things is we are one of the only places open.
When you think about Dickey's, you probably think of a nice family night out, all joined together around some good old generous portion of Texas-style smoked meats and savory sides. And you would be right, it is a social spot. So it would have made sense for it to go under, or at least lose a little bit of interest in light of the current situation. However, the complete opposite happened. Dickey's Barbecue Pit soared and adapted completely to fit the new needs of its customers. The company's CEO announced that Dickey's was not only adding virtual kitchens, but was also offering some online training for its barbecue masters. With over 500 locations, it seems like a good way to go.
So good.
Their Barbecue University online program will be their main focus this year in order to deliver the best service possible to its customers. Dickey also said that while it doesn't compare to real hands-on training in the actual kitchen, the program will still give franchisees and pit crews an opportunity to improve their skills from wherever they're working. By continuing to train their employees, it doubles their chances of staying around for the long term. It seems like Dickey's Barbecue Pit will still serve its slow-cooked barbecue, ribs, and other delicious dishes in 2021, maybe even more than before.
How them ribs? You know how they are.
Smashburger.
Smash, smash, smash!
It has not been an easy couple of years for Smashburger. In the past 3 years, it had to close over 78 locations and saw a big drop in sales. However, it seems like the pandemic brought a new craving for better burgers, and Smashburger finally saw the light at the end of the tunnel. The beloved chain saw a more than 400% increase in sales thanks to their digital orders. This gigantic increase boosted their confidence and their hope in opening up 40 new locations during this year, a very bold yet somehow realistic goal. To ensure their road to success is flawless, Smashburger has adopted a pandemic-positive approach and has completely revamped their restaurant in order to guarantee impeccable service. First, they opted for contactless cubby system pickup, along with a more intuitive curbside pickup system, and frequently updates to its app and website to provide a faster, frictionless experience.
Those little itty-bitty grilled onions that just explode in your mouth like flavor crystals every time you bite into one.
Plus, they launched a whole new breakfast menu. Not only did Smashburger adapt their business, but they were also awarded the Best Employer Award by Forbes. The election was based on the employees' satisfaction with the pandemic response and with their willingness to recommend Smashburger to their friends and family. Needless to say, it looks like Smashburger will be around for a long, long time.
Smash.
Saladworks.
You look like you could use a salad fill.
Huh?
Eating healthy should always be a priority, but in times where the pandemic is causing most people to stop exercising, it should be an even bigger one. This is where Saladworks comes in to save the day. While it may not be the most popular restaurant chain in America, it has been around for a good 34 years, so they definitely know a thing or two about good, quality salads. The national made-to-order salad chain has seen its profile raised significantly since the beginning of the pandemic, and it's all thanks to their innovative initiatives.
Okay.
They followed many other restaurants' lead and opened a bunch of ghost kitchens all throughout 2020. They've opened 7 outposts in grocery stores and plan on opening 10 more in 2021 to try and fill the salad bar void and offer Americans healthier options instead of turning to burgers or pizza all the time.
You know, eat your green vegetables.
With expansions and growing interest, Saladworks has definitely a lot of potential up its sleeve. The chain has been making headway slowly but surely, and if it wasn't on your radar before, then you should keep an eye out for it now. Order up more. Tap or click another great video, hit that subscribe button, and ring that bell to join our notification squad.